What's good, YouTube? It's your boy KB with Just Do Boxing, back with another video. Today we got an interesting matchup that takes place tonight on DAZN at the welterweight limit. We got a fight between undefeated Blair the Flair Cobbs and once beaten Alexis Rocha. So let's get into it, man. Blair the Flair Cobbs, he's 15-0-1, 10 KOs, 32 years old, southpaw. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He's 5'11 and a half. The last time we seen this guy in the ring, it was June 19th of last year against 29-3 at the time, Brad Solomon. Cobbs won by 5th round TKO. Brad Solomon was the most notable name on Cobbs' resume at the time. He's the most experienced fighter I believe Cobbs has stepped in the ring with at this point. He was 38 years old, so I don't think he had a lot left in the tank, and it showed. And Blair Cobbs was able to get him out of there. But Alexis Rocha will be a totally different deal. He's just 24 years old, so he's 14 years younger than Brad Solomon was. So he's a lot faster, younger, he's a lot fresher as a fighter, and I expect Rocha to be Blair Cobbs' toughest test to date. I think a lot of people might be sleeping on Alexis Rocha. He's only lost once, 18-1 with 12 KOs. His only loss coming to the undefeated speedy Rashidi Ellis, who's 23-0 with 14 KOs. And that fight took place back on October 30th of 2020. Even though Rocha lost a 12-round unanimous decision, he still was very competitive throughout the whole fight. He was able to have successes of his own in spots. But at the end of the day, Rashidi Ellis was, just too slick and a bit more skillful than Rocha. But as I stated, he definitely competed the whole 12 rounds. Even the scorecard suggested such. They were 116-112, 116-112, and 115-113. So that lets you know Rocha gave, Ellis his most competitive fight to date. I expect him to bring that same intensity, skill, and heart when he steps in the ring. He steps in the ring tomorrow night against Blair Cobbs. Rocha is 5'10", so Blair Cobbs is only gonna have an inch and a half height advantage there, so not much of a significant difference there. He's 70-inch reach. He's a southpaw as well, so it's gonna be the battle of the southpaws. So he's 24 years old, as I stated earlier. He's 8 years younger than Blair Cobbs, and Rocha did rebound after his first loss, recording two KO wins in his next two fights. He recorded a second-round KO over James Bacon, who was 26-4. He recorded a ninth-round KO over 23-1 Giovanni's Barraza. They both share a common opponent. Cobbs and Rocha, they both faced Brad Solomon. Rocha beat him by a 10-round unanimous decision in February 14th of 2020. Blair Cobbs fought Solomon in June 19th of last year, winning by a 5th round TKO. So you make it out, what you will. Cobbs was able to get the stoppage, and Rocha went the distance. I usually don't do triangle theories, and that definitely doesn't mean that, Blair Cobbs is going to beat Rocha tonight. He's a tough fighter, tough competitor, and I expect him to bring it against Blair Cobbs. And as y'all know, Blair Cobbs been a hot topic. He's been the topic of many discussions, and more so because of his antics and the over promotion, as I call it, and clout chasing. Kind of calling out Terrence Crawford. Speaking on Earl Spence, he has some negative things to say about him.
I know you've already sort of wanted us to want to fight the best.
Like, got a lot of different fighters.
I know
names
you
in
wanted.
his
I know
mouth,
you were talking about fighting
some of
Terrence
them are
Crawford,
unrealistic.
During the
I
pandemic,
even
you
heard
said he
him
wasn't
speak
that
on Boots
talented.
Ennis.
Is that what you said?
I don't think he really wants that smoke, but we're gonna see, because he been doing a lot of talking. I think in many ways it's worked, because I think a lot of people gonna be tuned in tonight to see if he's gonna win or if he's gonna lose, and how he's gonna perform if he wins. So I think Alexis Rocha and Blair Cobbs is a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. Both fighters have under 20 fights. As of right now, this would be Blair Cobbs' 17th pro fight. And for Rocha, it would be exactly his 20th pro fight. So it's not that much difference in terms of pro experience. Rocha has a 63% KO ratio. Cobbs has a 62% KO ratio. So they're pretty even in terms of power, in my opinion. only 1.5 inch in difference in height. You know, the reach is around the same, so it's a pretty even matchup on paper. And I expected it to be a test for both guys. I think both guys is gonna come to test each other. I don't know who I got winning this fight. You know, it's a pick'em fight. I think Rocha is gonna be slept on by some people because I don't think it's a lot of people that probably haven't seen him fight. So I think this is a great matchup. Good for boxing, and it's a good test for Blair Cobbs to see exactly where he's at and to see if he's ready to compete with the top tier fighters at 147. As he says, he's been tested, he's ready. You know, he hasn't had it easy, so he say. So let's see how he performs tonight against Rocha. A lot of eyes is going to be on him, you know, and this fight is, you know, elevated to the main event because Virgil Ortiz had to pull out due to a medical situation against Michael McKinson. So they elevated Blair Cobbs and Alexis Rocha to the main event. So, you know, that's a good thing for Blair Cobbs, but that's a little more added pressure for him to perform well and look good doing it, you know. To be honest, I think this fight going to deliver. I think both guys coming to make a statement and prove they belong with the top tier fighters at 147 pounds. I think they both going to come prepared and ready to fight. I think it's truly just a matter not only who wants it more, but who executes their game plan more effectively from the start. I think the first half of this fight is going to be telling. I think whoever's able to establish, you know, some separation early, if possible, is going to go on to win the fight. That's just how I see it playing out, you know. I think it's important for both guys to get off to a fast start because, you know, if either these guys fall behind in a big hole with this fight, you know, looking as even as what it is, the other could be in trouble. So I expect these guys to both try to start fast and try to, you know, establish dominance early. You know, I want to see who's able to separate in the ring and who's at a higher level skillfully. You know, we've been hearing Blair Cobbs, like I said, doing a ton of talking. You know, he hasn't been short on words. You know, he likes to talk. He likes to hear himself talk. So I think tonight people want to see him show and prove, and they want him to show us exactly where he belongs at in the welterweight division. You know, like I said, Brad Solomon, you know, that's a solid win, but Brad Solomon was 38 years old. He's definitely not a world beater. So, you know, people want to see more. You know, Brad Solomon is not going to get you an Errol Spence, a Terrence Crawford, or even a Boots Ennis fight, you know. So you got a worthy opponent tonight in Alexis Rocha. So I'm very interested to see how Blair Cobbs approaches this fight and how well he does. You know what I mean? All eyes are on him because of all the talking he's been doing. So he's gonna have to put up a shut up. You know, I think Cobbs might have an edge in speed. He got some pretty fast hands. You know, he has decent power. He has some boxing skill. He can move pretty well, you know, but he could be a little wild in there as well. You know, Rocha, he's tough. He lets his hands go. You know, he's a solid fighter as well. He has decent punching power, you know, and he's a come forward fighter. They're both southpaws. So I see this being a chess match early on, and we're going to see how long it takes for them to start mixing it up in the center of the ring, you know. But that's just my thoughts on this fight, man. Y'all get in the comment section. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all let me know who y'all got winning. You got Blair Cobbs winning or you got Alexis Rocha winning. As always, get in that comment section. Let me know if I gave Blair to Flair Cobbs and Alexis Rocha that Just Do. That's what I do over here at Just Do Boxing. Gonna be coming at y'all with more videos, more boxing breakdowns. You could expect, you know, just more in-depth breakdowns on these fights, man. I'm gonna keep touching on these upcoming fights on the Showtime schedule, man. So y'all stay tuned for that. Until the next one, I'm out. Peace.